The Radio Memories Network is brought to you in part by Liberated Syndication, podcast publishing made easy, libsyn.com. That's libsyn.com. The Radio Memories Network welcomes you to the earliest days of radio. All this is still ours today through the Radio Memories Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the radio audience.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back once again to Radio Journeys. I'm John Grimmett, your guide each week, as we take a look at old-time radio, listening to the programs as they probably would have sounded in the 1920s and 30s. Well, I took a break last week, had some production duties on another podcast that kept me away, but this week I'm back, and very glad to be back, continuing to cycle through the serials of 1932. This week we're finishing two of them. One of them, of course, is a very brief one. We're going to hear the fourth and final of the installments that I have of the Cocoanut Grove Ambassadors from 1932. This show was broadcast especially on the West Coast, originating at KFRC in Sacramento, California, and heard in the Sacramento to San Francisco area. It probably also would have been heard in Los Angeles, on a station such as KHJ in Los Angeles, and that's one of the reasons I'm playing KHJ station IDs between each of the episodes in these few weeks. Now, the other show that we're finishing tonight is Abroad with the Lockharts, not the most popular of the shows we've ever played, but an interesting one nevertheless. And we're up to the 13th and final episode of the show. Now, several of these episodes are missing. We first heard episodes 1 through 7, then we skipped to episode 12, and now episode 13. But two of the serials do continue. One of them is The Misadventures of Cy and Elmer. Tonight we're hearing episode 20, In a Dangerous Mystery Case, and Anne of the Airlanes. Tonight we're listening to episode 15. Now, Anne of the Airlanes, incidentally, has been dated as sometime in 1932, but I've also seen it dated alternately as 1935, and one of our listeners once reported seeing some newspaper listings from some archives that placed it at around 1942 or 43. And by the sound of the series, it very well could have run in the late 1930s, say around 1936 or 38. So there's no clear date for this show, haven't been able to find one, so I'm playing it along with the 1932 serials. Now, as I mentioned, two of these serials are finishing tonight, Cocoanut Grove Ambassadors and Abroad with the Lockharts. Well, what's going to replace them next week? I'll tell you more about that after tonight's episodes. So let's get underway with a full hour of radio as it would have sounded probably in the late afternoon or early evening on many radio stations across America. First episode tonight will be The Misadventures of Cy and Elmer, episode 20, Cocoanut Grove Ambassadors, episode number 8, Abroad with the Lockharts, episode 13, and finally, Anne of the Airlanes, episode number 15. I'll see you back here in about 56 minutes. Enjoy.
And this is KHJ, the Don Lee Station, Los Angeles.
The Misadventures of Cy and Elmer. Some real action in the case of the Midnight Mystery Train. Cy and Elmer visited the scene of the crimes, and even though our brave mail-order detectives were right on the job, another man was carried off by some mysterious force. The scene is now the home of Sheriff Hank Hawkins in Pumpkinville. The time, 3 o'clock in the morning. And the reason, Si and Elmer are reporting to the sheriff on their strange experiences at the ill-fated section car.
We're mighty sorry, Sheriff, that we had to get you out of bed this time in the morning, but this thing has got to have something done about it, and done mighty quick.
Me and Elmer has got a story to tell you that sounds like we're plumb crazy, and I ain't so sure we ain't.
Well, go right ahead with your story, boys. I heard about that thing before you all went down there. And no matter how wild it sounds, it ain't going to surprise me much.
Well, so you'll know what we're doing here at 3 o'clock in the morning, we'll begin at the back end and tell the story backwards.
Say, if you tell it, it'll be backwards, all right, no matter which end you start from. Well, you see, Sheriff, me and Si come in from that section camp on a handcart.
We didn't come all the way on it. We walked in the last mile because we got hit by the fast train.
Now, hold on now, Si. Wait a minute. If you got hit by the fast train, how come you're able to walk in here? I never seen nobody hit by a train walk very much afterwards.
Well, we didn't exactly get hit, did we, Elmer?
Certainly didn't get hit, but the handcar did.
Yeah.
You see, Sheriff, me and Si was a-coming on that track when we seen the train a-coming.
Yeah, and it was right behind us, and catching up to us awful fast.
Yes, and Si wasn't no good about getting that handcar stopped. You weren't. And I'd have tried to get it off the track, but Si was so darn slow we had to jump for our lives. Yes, sir. And the train made kindled wood out of that handcart.
And we were scared we had wrecked the train.
Well, I should think so. Did the engineer know he'd hit you?
I guess he knowed us pretty well from some of the names he called us.
Yes, I reckon he was plenty mad by the time he stopped that big train and backed up half a mile or so. He was all for killing me and Si right then and there.
But Elmer talked him out of it. Told him about our being detectives on this railroad case.
Well, you must have been sleeping to let that train get that close to you without getting off the track.
Yeah? We never knowed it till the train got right on top of us.
We was busy trying to see a feller on horseback that'd been following us all along the fence all the way.
And just a minute we seen the headlight, that train run right up on us.
Now, wait a minute, boys. Wait a minute. You got the car to hear the horse. First you tell me about coming home on a handcar with a horseman following you while you nearly got hit by the limited.
That's right.
But not a word yet about how it started or what happened at the section camp. Now, back up, and start over at the beginning.
Well, we got on the train here yesterday to ride out to...
Oh, shucks, Sheriff knows that already.
Yeah, he told me to begin at the beginning, didn't he?
Oh, ain't no sense telling him things he knows already.
The sheriff asked for the beginning, and I'm giving him the beginning.
Yeah, you're right, Si. We must start the very beginning. For the most unimportant things take on a great significance when they're part of a criminal trail.
Yeah, that sounds kind of familiar to me, Elmer.
Bet your life it's familiar. That's some of the stuff out of our book on how to be a detective. And I'll bet the sheriff has been sneaking a look at our book.
Why, Elmer Peabody, sheriff wouldn't do that.
No, boys, I ain't been stealing any of your thunder. That's just the first principle of detecting. And if it's in your book's good. Now, come on, get on with the story, Si. We're losing time.
Well, we got to the junction just after dark, and the section boss wasn't there to meet us. So we started to walk down them long, 2 dark miles.
Yes, and all the way down that track, Si was a bailing and a moaning about the dark. When he stepped on a piece of barbed wire, he hollered for 10 minutes that a rattlesnake had bit him.
Sketch it, Elmer. Sheriff don't want to know that.
Didn't he say one knew everything?
Yes, Elmer, he did, but...
Yes, but you ain't got sense enough to tell him, Si. Well, after we got pretty near the section camp, that Irish boys come out to meet us. And we sat right down on the track while he told us the whole plumb story.
And it's crazy, you wouldn't believe it, Sheriff.
Yeah, let's have it, boys. I reckon it ain't going to surprise me so much. After being sheriff for 20 years around here, there ain't many surprises left.
And if this don't surprise you, then you're crazy.
Well, Sheriff, that section car is on a little side track in a big, deep cut at the end of the bridge, you know.
Yeah.
And there's just room in front of it for the track. That's mighty important, too. Because when you step out the door of the car, the only place you can walk is right on the track.
So me and Elmer got up on this bank and waited for midnight to come. All them other fellas had things happen to them just at 12 o'clock.
Well, did you boys see anything happen at 12?
No, we didn't exactly see it, but it happened.
Yes, I'll say it happened. And it was just like we said, too. Pat, that's our section boss, Pat Houlihan, said he weren't afraid with us watching, so he done just like the others did.
Yeah.
Well, when we heard the train whistle, way off like, with just 1 minute to 12 midnight, And Pat come out the door of the car and started up the track.
Me and Elmer could tell about where he was, because he had his flashlight lit, but he was covering it up in his hand.
Well, there was Pat, walking slow up the track, and the train was getting louder and louder.
And I got my moving picture camera going.
Now, hold on now. Wait a minute. What good was that motion picture camera? Didn't you say it was plumb dark?
It was darker than the inside black hat man of a black hat.
Yeah, say it was. But you see, Sheriff, we had some of them flashlight globes for taking pictures at night, you know. Well, I shot 4 of them off while the trouble was going on. So we got the idea that some of them pictures might be some good.
And there was Pat, walking slow up the track, the train getting louder and closer all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And just as that noise got right under us...
Sheriff, I'm telling you, it was certainly terrible.
Nah.
Pat gave the most awfulest scream you ever heard. The train was going just, well, quicker scatting. Well, that's about all.
Hey, you don't need to look at Elmer like he was crazy, Sheriff. That's just the way it happened.
Now, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that fellow Pat walked right into that train, and you fellas just let it hit him, and you didn't do nothing about it?
Well, but what we're trying to tell you, Sheriff, there wasn't no train.
But you just said...
We said that we heard the train.
Yes, and we did hear it.
Yeah.
Just same as all them other fellers heard it.
But we never seen it.
Well, there wasn't no lights on the train. It went through so fast you couldn't see it. That's all.
That's what we figured, Sheriff, till we got down on the train track and looked around.
Yes, and we couldn't find no clue what happened to Pat. But we did find his hat.
And his flashlight, right where he dropped it.
Well, then the train must have carried him away after it hit him, and he dropped them things right there.
But there wasn't no train, Sheriff.
No, sir. We know there weren't no train, because they found Pat's hat laying right on top of the rail.
Yeah, and it couldn't have been there if there was a train.
But you boys heard the train. And if I understand it right, the others heard it too.
They did, but no matter how many heard it, it wasn't never on that track.
No, sir. Ain't no two ways about it, Sheriff. We heard that train, heard it coming way down the track. Heard it come right under us. Then we heard Pat scream.
Yeah.
And then the train was gone.
Yeah.
But no train never come through.
That's right, Sheriff. And with Elmer there with me, you can't say it was just me being scared.
Well, boys, that's the strangest yarn I ever heard. But I believe you're telling it just as it happened. Or at least as you think it happened. Now, wasn't some kind of a clue as to what happened to Pat?
We couldn't find a thing but the flashlight and the hat.
Say, wait a minute. Just one thing, Sheriff. Sounds crazy and all the rest. Maybe it means something. Every time I showed off one of them flashlight globes, I got a pretty good look at things that weren't too far away.
I kept the camera running and pointed right where I thought Pat was. But I was kind of scared, and maybe I shut my eyes a time or two when them flashes went off.
Tabby, too, you know darn well you kept them shut, son. But I had mine wide open, yes, sir. And one time, could have swore I seen Pat up in the air.
That's what Elmer told me right then, Sheriff.
Up in the air, huh?
Yeah.
That gives me an idea. You said there were steep banks on both sides of the track, didn't you?
Yeah.
You boys look around up on top of the other bank, the one across the track from where you was?
Well, no, we didn't, Sheriff.
No, we scampered right back here to report to you, Sheriff.
See, we ain't used to being deputy sheriffs. Did we do right?
You can bet your life you did right, and we're going into action right now. Si, how much confidence you got in them pictures inside that camera?
I ain't sure, Sheriff. Things happen so fast.
It don't hurt none. That camera takes 16 pictures every second. And if anything happened in front of it while one of them flashes went off, it's on that film.
Yeah, then we got to get that drugstore fella out of bed and get that film fixed up so he can see it.
That's just the trouble, Sheriff. We can't get that film fixed up closer in Kansas City.
Yes, and by the time that film gets to Kansas City and back, somebody else will be killed or disappeared.
Well, it can't be fixed here, that's for sure.
Now, you boys never let me down yet. And if you think that camera's got valuable evidence in it, we're going to get it out right now. Hand me that telephone, Si.
Yeah?
Now, what's the name of that young fella out the airfield?
Why, Sheriff, you ain't going to send that film to Kansas City by airplane, are you?
Say, that'll cost a lot of money, Sheriff. We don't know how much we're going to get paid for this case yet.
No, that's right, Sheriff, we don't.
No, don't you worry none about the cost. Operator, get me the airfield. Wake somebody up out there and call me quick. This is the sheriff. Railroad will pay plenty to get this thing straightened out, boys. And Punkin County ain't never been stingy about seeing criminals punished.
Elmer, ain't this exciting?
Say, by ginger, Si. Send evidence by airplane. Imagine it.
Yeah.
Say, that's good enough for a moving picture.
Yeah.
Now, you boys just sit still and we'll see how Hank Hawkins goes into action. Just a minute. Hello? Operator?
What a thrill for the old boys to have their evidence rushed around by plane. But what if the pictures are no good? Your announcer will tell you when you may hear another episode of Si and Elmer over this station.
And this is KHJ, the Don Lee Station, Los Angeles.
The popular stars of Hollywood are dancing in the world-famous Cocoanut Grove in Los Angeles. We take you now in fancy to this gay rendezvous, where we shall hear Jimmy Greer and his greater all-star Cocoanut Grove Orchestra. We're always thankful for Jimmy's good music. We should be more than thankful for this number. It's Dick Webster singing, "I'm Thankful."
One day, and since you came my way, with all my heart I say, I'm thankful. Joys that I never knew somehow came into view, and all because of you, I'm thankful. Although Thanksgiving comes once in a year, it's always Thanksgiving whenever you're near. Your love is so divine, I worship at your shrine, and dear, because you're mine, I'm thankful.
A girl must take a lot of punishment when her partner dances on her feet. But listen to the plight of Gogo Delise as she sings, "You're Dancing on My Heart." speaking of heartbeats, you can't beat the three cheers in this number. Drums in My Heart.
Drums roll deep in my heart, beating with joy. Cymbals I hear way down in my soul, reaching my ear, crashing with joy. Hail a new day, welcome a bright sky. Humbly I pray, happy am I. Drums in my heart, striking a new chord. Drums in my heart, thank the Lord.
This is KHJ, the Don Lee Station, Los Angeles.
Mr. and Mrs. Lockhart have been to Europe. That is, Mrs. Lockhart took Mr. Lockhart. They are now homeward bound. Mr. Lockhart represents the average type of businessman. Comfortable, blunt, knows his own mind, enjoys his business and his community. A plain businessman. Mrs. Lockhart is the pleasant type. A thorough housekeeper, belongs to the literary club and the women's club of her town, and still retains the spirit of romance. Today we find them on the promenade deck of a liner approaching the shores of America.
Come on, Will. This is the sunny side of the boat. You'll feel better up here.
Don't be too sure. These boat stairs are terrible for a man, I think.
Never mind, dear. You'll be on land tomorrow. Here's a couple of nice deck chairs. Now let's sit down.
They're not ours. Ours are on the other side of the boat, the cold side.
No, it's only cold over there because the wind's blowing from that direction. And it doesn't matter whose chairs they are. After 4 days at sea, people are not fussy about the chairs. Now sit down.
Well, who do they belong to?
Mrs. William Watson. Oh, that's the lady in the stateroom next to ours. She won't be needing them.
How do you know she won't?
Because I heard her not 10 minutes ago being seasick. Now will you sit down? Oh, dear, what a glorious day of sunshine. How are your feet now?
Still sore.
Oh, well, don't think about them. Think about all the lovely things you've seen. The pictures and cathedrals, and did you use your foot balm this morning?
Yes, and every time I do, I wonder why I was darn fool enough to take this tour to Europe.
Oh, now don't start that all over again. Ever since you climbed to the top of the Milan Cathedral, you've done nothing but complain. You took this trip to please me.
I hope you'll remember it. But I can't understand how a businessman, sane 11 months out of the year, can suddenly go loco and walk 1,000,000 miles through art galleries and ruined cities and call it a holiday.
Now, that's just exaggeration. That's one of your worst faults. Whenever you get mad, you always exaggerate. Back home, you'd walk miles on the golf course and think nothing of it.
Golf's a pleasure. Walking through these art galleries day after day is nothing less than hard labor.
But see how it's broadened you.
Broadened me? The only thing it's broadened about me are my feet. I can't get into those new boots I bought, and my pants are too big around the waist.
Well, you were getting too fat anyway.
Well, I guess I wasn't cut out for this art stuff. Why, half the statues those guides showed us, when I'd ask them what they were, they'd say, figure of a man. I could see that for myself. Now, those statues we got back home there on the town hall square, they mean something to me. They express something.
Which are they?
Why, those two labeled agriculture and industry. There's agriculture, holding a hoe, and industry's got a wheel around her neck.
Oh, well, art is long, they say. You can't just take it down at a gulp. You've got to absorb it.
Well, I'm no sponge. And furthermore, I don't like this boat. When you got reservations on it, I told you I wouldn't like it.
Why, Will, it's the biggest and best boat on the Atlantic.
Yes, and you've got to walk a mile to get to the ocean.
But just think of the impression we'll make when we get back home.
Impression with what?
With our steamship label.
Huh.
And look at the passenger list. Why, half of them are millionaires.
Yeah, that's another trouble. The only one who said good morning to me since I've been on the boat has been the steward.
Why, Will, there's lots of nice people on the boat.
Well, if there are, they must be sick or something.
Here come the Vanderwaters.
Who are they?
Good morning. Yes, it is lovely. Taking your constitutional? That's right. Oh, no, he's just resting. Well, goodbye. Now, they're nice people. They come from Chicago. He's president of something or other, and they've been over visiting their daughter, who's taking a finishing course at the Sorbonne.
Sore what?
Sorbonne.
What's that?
A university, dear. You saw it.
I don't remember it.
Oh, Will. Well, anyway, she's finishing there.
What's she finishing?
Oh, Everything.
What's the matter with our own schools?
Oh, they're all right, but a year at the Sorbonne gives the girls such a lovely continental flavor. It's such an asset socially. Here's the steward with some beef tea. Do you want some beef tea, dear?
No.
He says no, thanks.
Yes, and that's another trouble. I haven't seen a bill of fare for a month that I could understand.
Oh, Will, you are grouchy this morning. The waiter always told you whether it was soup or ice cream you were ordering. Now you sit back and make yourself comfortable, and I'll go down into the lounge and listen to the orchestra and finish up my diary. Hello, Will. How do you feel now?
Oh, hello. I feel just about the same.
Well, I've finished up my diary. You know, I've promised to speak at the club next week on my impressions of Europe.
Oh, well, don't forget to tell them about that little mannequin statue that we saw in Brussels.
I don't know how it is, but you seem to remember the things you should forget, and you forget the things you should remember.
Well...
Now then, how does this sound? This is about Italy. From Venice, we went to Florence, where we stopped at the Hotel Grand Excelsior di La Ville.
They're all grand something or other.
The hotel is located on the banks of the famous Arno River and has good beds and lovely meals.
But no ice water.
Nearby was the old Ponte Vecchio, where Dante first saw Beatrice.
Saw who?
Beatrice. Beatrice.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
He immediately fell in love with her and went right away and wrote his Inferno.
Well, what's that?
We've enjoyed our visit in Florence and felt very much uplifted by the wonderful things we saw, which are really too numerous to remember.
Very satisfactory.
From Florence, we went to Rome, where we saw everything of importance, including the famous Apollo Belvedere, which our guide told us was the most perfect specimen of man ever sculpted. We notice people standing in front of us for 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, mostly old maids.
If you're going to be rude, and if I may say so, vulgar, I'm going to stop right now.
Well, since I paid for this trip to Europe, let me give you my impressions of it, which consist of a loop-the-loop, a scenic switchback railway, and a hodgepodge of guides, galleries, tips, trains, porters, sore feet, spoiled digestion, and an empty pocketbook.
Will, I'm shocked.
Now listen, my dear. We've been together for many a year, and I think I know you fairly well. Now fess up. This running all over Europe, swallowing it to the gulp, is all right for the young folks who can walk 8 hours a day over the cobblestones and like it. But for you and me, now wouldn't you rather have had just a nice, quiet month up at the cottage on the lake? Just we two, living again the old sweetheart days, sitting down there on the bench by the water's edge and watching the moon come up from behind the trees over on the point, and talking about what the young folks are going to do in the fall. Our kind of talk. Home talk. That's the kind of a holiday for you and me, dear. Just we two, together, alone.
Will.
Now, wouldn't you rather?
Oh, I suppose so, dear.
Yeah. And it wouldn't cost $100 for the whole month.
Now you've spoiled it all.
Well, that's what I think about it.
That's not what you think about it, and you know it.
Why, what do you...
You know very well you enjoyed the ocean trip. You liked London, you liked Paris, you thought Venice was charming, you've made a lot of friends, and you've come home, in spite of your sore feet, rested and healthy and happy. Now admit it.
Well, maybe I have.
And when you get home, you'll be the first one to brag about it to Charlie and the other friends.
Well,
I noticed, by the way, Charlie didn't send you any postcards about the fish he caught.
That's right. Maybe he didn't catch any.
Well, now admit it. Haven't you had a good time?
Well, I guess I have, and I wouldn't give $1 million for it.
And aren't you glad you came?
Yes, my dear, I'll have to admit I am. It certainly is an education to see the other half of the world.
Well, very well, then. Well, then, come along now. I think it's time to go down to lunch.
All right, dear.
Now, take my rug.
Yes?
Come along, dear.
Dear?
Yes?
Come here, dear.
Why, what is it?
There's nobody looking.
Oh, Will. Oh, dear. Come on, come along.
All right, but you've got to put some more foot balm on this foot of mine, or I won't be able to get off this boat.
And so you have been abroad with the Lockharts, that typical Mr. and Mrs. who have been to Europe and back again, happier, healthier, more content with their own lot in life. We hope you have enjoyed their wanderings over Europe, and perhaps at some future time we shall again have the pleasure of going abroad with the Lockharts.
This is KHJ, the Don Lee Station, Los Angeles.
Over valley and mountain, river and plain, through wind and storm, rides Anne of the Airlanes.
Ann Burton and Jack Baker, together with the two members of the diamond smuggling ring, Vic and Joe, have taken off safely from the island of Trinidad, where they were mired down in the famous Lake of Asphalt. As they wing their way to the South American destination, Cape St. Roque, they receive word by radio from the gang's headquarters in Springfield that Zebulon Abercrombie, one of the discoverers of the diamond fields being worked by the smugglers, has joined the ranks of the Secret Service. However, knowing that Jack and Ann are safe for a while, suppose we see how our other friends are faring in the secreted laundry room in the Tyler Sanitarium. This room, serving as a false front for an unlicensed radio station, has been whisked out of sight beneath the ground, bearing with it Art Morrison, co-pilot Peterson, Bobby Baker, and Zeb Abercrombie. Have they kept their presence a secret, or does the mysterious head of the ring, the Doc, know they are separated from his workroom by only a thin wall? Let's join them and find out.
I wonder what that buzz is. Sounds like a small emery wheel, only you can't hear them grinding anything.
I thought at first it was their radio set, Pete. Only I never heard one keep up a buzz like that.
Seems sort of familiar to me. Yes, sir, I've heard that sound Summers before. If I could just place it. Gosh, I'd give anything I own, except my 30-30 Winchester, to have a little peek hole so I could see into that room. Wouldn't you, or?
I sure would. Now that we've shut off the radio, they certainly seem to be engaged in some kind of work. I bet it has nothing to do with the hospital.
Speaking of hospital, I'd give a pretty just to see if that is Doc Tyler with that foreign fella. You can't tell by the voice through this wall.
Yeah, but the wall don't take away the accent of that foreigner's lingo. I could tell him anywheres. Say, that gives me an idea what that noise is. Wait till I hear it again. I think I can tell you.
I'd like to hear him talk to Jack's plane again. Gee, I was sure glad to hear that they got that ship out of that lake of tar. Gosh, I bet that was sticky.
Not tar, Bobby. Asphalt, or pitch, as they call it down there. It's the same stuff they put on the streets.
I don't see much difference.
Well, there isn't a whole lot of difference, Bobby. They're both mineral byproducts.
Laying aside the educational side of this conversation, Art, that sure must have been a spot to be in. Man, we would have sure would if we'd have known about that instead of just thinking that Jack had to land to put out a little fire in the baggage compartment.
I reckon you ain't sort of looked around for a few minutes to see and seen the spot you're in yourself, have you, Pete? If these smuggling fellers just happen to look in here when they switch this room back and find us in here, well, all Jack stood to lose was that airplane.
I get you, Zeb. I guess we are kind of in a spot, all right.
Well, yeah, but they couldn't actually do anything to us. Aunt Hattie and Kay know that we started up here to the sanitarium, and if we don't show up, well, police would know where to look, won't they?
I guess they would, Bobby.
Take it easy, Bobby. They haven't found us here yet. I think that I've got enough evidence to call for a raid on this place.
Hey, there's that buzz again, Zeb. Take a listen.
Yeah, I reckon that's it, all right. Last time I heard that was down in Cape Town.
What do you think it is, Zeb?
Well, now don't take this as absolute fact, but it sounds to me just like one of the machines they used in cutting diamonds.
Cutting diamonds? Here in Springfield?
Yep, there was a fella had a little place in Cape Town where he did a little work like that. That's where I heard that noise before.
But I thought they did most of the diamond cutting in Holland.
I reckon they do, Bobby, but you see, if they take these rough stones to any of the regular diamond cutters, that gives the different governments a chance to check up on the number of stones that have been handled.
I think I see it now. No wonder we haven't been able to get our usual information from the cutters. These fellows have their own facilities, and they do all the handling of the diamonds from the mines direct to the final purchaser. Always thought there was a loophole somewhere in our system of checking up.
Man, oh man, but these boys are complete. As that Vic said, the Doc just thinks of everything. It's a wonder to me that they have to go to the trouble to steal the diamonds. They ought to have their own mines, too.
I guess they have, Pete. The mines that they took away from us. Because until George and me stumbled onto them, nobody had ever looked for diamonds in that part of Africa.
But I thought it was all a part of what they call the Kimberley.
Nope, it's way north of the Kimberley. North and kind of west. They got what they call the alluvial mines in the Portuguese Angola. Only been working them about 15 or 20 years. But these stones that me and George found were more to the interior.
Well, that just about makes it complete, I guess. The Doc has his own mines, his own radio stations and beacons, his own diamond cutters, and now with Jack piloting the interstate experimental transport for him, he thinks he's got his own transatlantic air express.
And that last part is the weak link, Pete. Because with Jack working for us, well, that'll give us the whole setup so the Secret Service can round up the entire crew once they start.
Well, I wish they'd start pretty soon. I'm sort of itching to find out whatever become of George. For some reason or other, I never did feel like he was gone completely.
Well, Zeb, if the instructions are like they think they are, you'll be in Africa before very long. Because just as soon as they get that aircut fixed up, you'll be on your way.
You mean if we get out of this rat trap with our whole hides?
Say, that buzzing has stopped. And you can hear footsteps. Sounds like they're crossing to the door.
That means they'll be switching this laundry room back to its original place. We'll have a chance to get out.
If they don't take a notion to look in here before they leave.
Now, look, fellas. Each one of you get behind something the second you see this room moving. You can tell by that stationary wall there. Then if someone happens to open that door after the change, they won't see us.
I can get behind this machine here. Yeah. Hey, there's room for two of us. You take that, Art. Bobby, you get down behind that there tub.
But how about you, Zeb? Doesn't seem to be any place for you.
It's sort of lucky each one of these rambling rooms has got its own door that lets them swing in. It hides anybody that's behind it. And if they happen to come in, well, there's always ways and means to keep them from coming in any further.
Let's hope nobody comes in. That'll make it easier.
I'll sure be glad to get out of here. And won't Aunt Hattie be glad to know that we've heard from Miss Burton?
Maybe you better not tell her about Vic sending Ann back on a tramp steamer, so she can't send word to anyone. That'd just worry her more.
No, we won't say anything about that. Because if Ann does take a steamer from San Roque, we'll have her picked up by a flying boat.
Watch it. We're moving. See there?
Yeah. Let's get behind something just in case.
Better get down a little more, Bobby. Down. That's better. We're just about... Shh. I can hear somebody going up the steps. Looks like we're not going to have any company. Yep, they've gone.
Think it's safe to make a dash for it?
Yep, I reckon the coast is just about as clear now as it'll ever be. But it won't hurt none to sort of be as still as we can.
I'd like to take a look at the way they move these rooms around before we get out. We might not have another chance like this.
As a matter of fact, I would too, Pete. But it'll have to wait because it's getting late. It's 3:15.
3:15? Boy, it'll be daylight pretty soon.
That's what I'm afraid of. We'd better get out of here while we have a chance.
Yeah, I'd hate to get caught in here for another 5 or 6 hours. Lack of freedom sort of cramps my style.
No one in sight. Watch out for these steps. I'd still like to know if that fella in there was Doc Tyler.
Well, if it was, he's a pretty good actor, because he was talking to that foreigner, Hans, just like he was a janitor when I overheard him. And if Hans is a diamond cutter, well, even the head of them crooks wouldn't talk to him like that. Them fellers is scarce, especially in this country.
Here's the ambulance entrance. Nobody around.
Oh, boy, does that fresh air feel good after being caged up in that room for a few hours.
Now, if we can just get back to the car without being seen, we'll be all right.
Well, Art, what's on the program now?
I think we ought to get a little sleep, and then we'll...
Here comes a car on the drive. Quick, behind these bushes, fellas.
Yeah.
It's no ambulance. Wonder who it is coming in.
That's Dr. Tyler's car.
And that was Doc Tyler getting out and going into the hospital.
Anyhow, he's sent his car away, so I reckon he's planted for the night. Looks like we can move now.
We can cut across here to the sidewalk, keep in the shadows, though. I don't trust anything or anybody around this place anymore.
Well, as I started to say, we'll get a little rest and then show up at the airport. See how they're coming along with the aircat.
I still can't see why the Secret Service is going to this much trouble, Art. Fitting out a speed plane for ocean hops and then having Kay and Zeb and me handle it. Looks like they could get men of their own to...
They could, but you asked for it, so you could be close to Jack. So there you are. Of course, Pete, if you'd rather not...
Hey, wait a minute. I was just asking, that's all. I want to be in on this at the finish. But why have us trail him? Jack is right with him all the time, and he...
I reckon I know the answer to that, Pete. You see, once they get into the interior in Africa, Jack is liable to need all the help he can get, and have it where he can lay his hands on it when he does need it. Gosh, Mr. Morrison, I wish they could find some way for me to go along with him. I could handle the radio. It's going to be sort of lonesome without anyone here.
Don't worry about that, Bobby. I think we'll find plenty for you and I to do right here at home. Maybe it won't be as exciting, but then if tonight is any sample, we'll have our share at that.
That's right, Bobby. A ground crew is really more important than the pilot sometimes. We may need you to send us a rowboat. You never can tell.
Oh, all right. But I'd still like to go. Well, here's the car. We'd better be making ourselves scarce on this street.
Hey, climb in front, Bobby, and open the front door on the other side for me.
Okay, Pete.
You better come over to my hotel, Zeb. I think they can fix you up there, and you want to be close in case we get a call.
Okay, Art. One place is just about as good as another.
Now, if I can just get this boat started. Say, what's this on the wheel?
A piece of paper. Maybe you left it when we got out.
I never left any paper on the wheel. Looks like a note. Can't read it. It's too dark. I'll turn on the light back.
Not here, Pete. Better get around the corner. Hand it here. I'll turn the light on. It's back here as soon as we're out of sight of the hospital.
Okay. Hey, but look. I had the doors all locked and the windows up. How could anybody put a note in it without opening the car?
Looks like somebody else is a magician. Or maybe it's the same feller.
This ought to be all right. Keep on going, Pete. I'll read it. Oh, turn on the light. That switch right there, Zeb. Listen to this. Mr. Peterson, the regular visiting hours in my sanitarium are from 6 to 8 each evening. Visits by you and your friends at other hours will be met with force in the future. And it's signed Dr. Tyler.
Dr. Tyler. Is this definite proof that Tyler is the nefarious leader of the smuggling ring? Has he been playing with our friends as a cat plays with a mouse? And for what purpose? Perhaps more will be revealed in the next episode when we once again join our friends in another thrilling chapter of Anne of the Airlanes.
Anne of the Airlanes, Episode 15. Now, we'll be continuing with Anne of the Airlanes, as well as Cy and Elmer, next week and in the coming several weeks. But what about the other two serials? Well, we'll be starting 2 new ones next week. The first one will be Chandu the Magician. We're going to listen to the very first ever, or very first surviving episode of this show. Some sources say it may have started in October of 1932, but we have episodes dating all the way back to March of 1932, and that's what we're going to be hearing. The earliest known dated show of Chandu the Magician is March 17, 1932. That's what we'll be listening to. I have quite a bit to say about that show as well. Also, we'll be starting another new serial, one of my favorites in this cycle of serials from 1932. It's called The Family Doctor. Quite well written and well acted. I think you're going to like that one as much as I do. So 2 new serials starting next week. And since we do have a date of March 17, I'll also be able to take a look once again at the newspapers from that date to find out what else would have been on the radio. So until next week, have a very good week, everybody. I'll see you back here once again next Sunday. Bye now.